Hold on to your popcorn because what Katt Williams just unleashed about growing up in great America is nothing short of nuclear. Forget every wholesome life lesson you've ever heard. This isn't your grandma's advice on eating vegetables and going to bed early. Katt throws shade so sharp it could cut through diamond, spilling secrets that make the Kardashians look like a boring book club. We're talking raw, unfiltered truths that will make you question everything you thought you knew about childhood, fame, and the absurdity of adulthood. It's like someone took a truth serum, shook it up with pure comedy chaos, and poured it straight onto the stage. And trust me, the reactions? Absolutely priceless. Memes exploded, fans lost it, and social media is buzzing like a swarm of caffeinated bees on Red Bull. Katt doesn't just talk about growing up, he exposes it. The awkward moments, the betrayal, the downright hilarious injustices of life that most people quietly suffer through. He drags society, hypocrisy, and even himself into a comedic hurricane that leaves jaws on the floor. This isn't just a comedy set. This is a truth bomb dressed in laughter, and it's about to explode in your brain. Keep watching because you won't believe what he reveals next. So, picture this, the lights dim, the audience leans in, and Katt Williams strolls onto that stage like a man who already knows he's about to break every rule in the comedy handbook. Forget polite chuckles, forget safe material. This was the comedic equivalent of detonating TNT in a crowded room. Katt Williams didn't just do a set on growing up. No, he ripped childhood to shreds, threw it in a blender, and served it back to the audience with extra hot sauce. While most comedians warm you up with a few knock-knock jokes, Katt launched straight into truths that hit harder than a grandma's slipper aimed at your head. And here's where the scandal begins. This wasn't just, haha, school was tough material. Oh no. Katt called out the hypocrisy of childhood itself. The lies adults feed kids, the nonsense rules society expects, and the tragic comedy of thinking life gets easier when you grow up. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. According to Katt, it only gets messier, wilder, and more absurd than any soap opera could script. Think about it. We've all been sold the fantasy that childhood is the best time of your life. Really? Katt compares it to prison with extra crayons. He mocks the so-called freedom kids supposedly have, pointing out that being told when to eat, when to sleep, and when to ask permission to pee sounds suspiciously like doing a bid in minimum security. And the crowd? They lost it. Laughter so loud it felt like an earthquake was about to hit Netflix headquarters. But here's where the controversy catches fire. Katt doesn't just clown on childhood. He drags adulthood into the mud too. He says growing up is like being scammed by the universe. Congratulations, you survived dodgeball. Now here's 40 years of bills, heartbreak, and pretending you like your coworkers. The audience howled. But the internet? Oh, the internet wasn't laughing. Clips started circulating online faster than celebrity mugshots, with fans arguing whether Katt was being funny or painfully real. This is where the leak vibe kicks in. Audiences started tweeting, is Katt exposing comedy or is he exposing us? Memes showed up overnight. One viral tweet read, growing up is like downloading a free app and then realizing the hidden costs will bankrupt you. People weren't just entertained. They were shook. But why did this land like a cultural scandal? Because Katt Williams wasn't just telling jokes. He was dragging every millennial, Gen Z, and even boomers into the same spotlight. Nobody was safe. Parents got roasted for their back-in-my-day nonsense. Teachers caught strays for pretending algebra would matter in adult life. And society? He made it sound like society is one big pyramid scheme where kids are the unpaid interns. And the sarcasm? Legendary. Katt joked that adulthood is basically just trying to recreate childhood fun, except now you have to pay taxes while you do it. He compared it to buying Disneyland tickets only to find out Mickey Mouse is repossessing your car. This is where the tension started building. Some fans clutched their pearls, calling it too dark. Others said it was the realest comedy they'd ever heard. But everyone agreed on one thing. This wasn't a safe, chuckle-and-move-on performance. This was comedy as a weapon. And here's the kicker. Katt framed growing up as a giant scam, a scam that nobody opted into but everybody pays for. The laughter wasn't just funny. It was uncomfortable, like laughing at a funeral because the priest slipped on a banana peel. And that's Katt's genius, forcing you to laugh at the stuff you'd rather cry about. Of course, the reactions didn't stop in the comedy club. By the next morning, clips were plastered everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Celebrities weighed in, fans debated in comment sections, and some self-proclaimed parenting experts accused Katt of being toxic. Toxic? Please. If truth is toxic, then Katt Williams might as well be Chernobyl in a velvet suit. But here's what made this scandalous. Katt wasn't just talking about childhood. He was ripping open the curtain on the myth of happiness itself. He basically told the world, "You think life is a straight path? Nah, it's a broken escalator covered in Legos and student loans." Fans were floored. The audience laughed until tears rolled down their faces, but afterward, you could practically see the existential crisis in their eyes. This wasn't just comedy. This was a public therapy session disguised as jokes. And half the crowd didn't even realize they'd signed up for it. And just when the room thought they could breathe, Katt dropped the real nuke. Adulthood, according to him, is proof that Santa Claus was just the first lie. Boom. Silence. Then thunderous laughter. Social media exploded. One TikTok stitched the clip with the caption, "My whole childhood just got canceled." The scandal was alive. The tension was growing. And this was only the beginning. Because if you thought Katt Williams was just clowning for laughs, oh no, my friend, he was setting the stage for something bigger, meaner, and juicier. The kind of comedy meltdown that makes other celebrities run for cover. And the question on everyone's lips? If this is how Katt Williams talks about growing up, what's he going to expose next? If you thought Katt Williams was just warming up with that first wave of truth bombs, buckle in, because the man turned the comedy stage into a courtroom, and society itself was on trial. The crowd had barely stopped laughing when the internet picked up the torch and turned his words into wildfire. Memes became the new scripture. One genius posted a screenshot of SpongeBob sobbing with the caption, "When Katt said Santa was the first lie, I felt that in my credit score." Another tweet that blew up overnight read, "Growing up is basically subscribing to life for free, then realizing adulthood is all in-app purchases." And people couldn't help but admit it. He wasn't lying. He was just saying the quiet part out loud, with enough sarcasm to burn holes through TikTok. Celebrities didn't stay silent either. Kevin Hart tried to make light of it, joking online, "Katt's right. Adulthood is like trying to cancel a gym membership. Impossible." Chris Rock chimed in, saying Katt's set was less comedy and more group therapy with a laugh track. Even Snoop Dogg couldn't resist, casually admitting on IG Live that adulthood hits harder than a hangover at 40. When Snoop's in your corner, you know the culture has spoken, but not everyone was clapping. The backlash brigade showed up in full force. Parenting groups accused Katt of destroying childhood innocence, as if TikTok dances and Roblox chat rooms hadn't already done the job years ago. Facebook moms were writing novels about how kids need to believe life is beautiful, while the rest of the internet roasted them with replies like, "Karen." Even Dora had a hard time growing up. And then came the wildest twist. Conspiracy theorists jumped in. Suddenly, Katt's bit about adulthood being a scam turned into entire Twitter threads claiming he was exposing the elites. People were analyzing his jokes like hidden prophecies, arguing that he was dropping coded warnings about the system. Bro, it's a comedy set, not a Da Vinci Code sequel. But hey, clicks are clicks. And the theories only made the scandal blow up even more. Meanwhile, Gen Z was loving every second. TikTok flooded with videos of teenagers mouthing Katt's lines to roast their parents. One viral skit showed the Easter Bunny and Tooth Fairy resigning on live TV with the caption, "Sorry kids, Katt Williams exposed us." Millions of views. Suddenly, Katt wasn't just a comedian, he was the meme overlord of 2025. And let's not forget the celebrity clapbacks. One actress, famous for her squeaky clean mom roles in rom-coms, went on Instagram to lecture everyone about preserving childhood joy. The internet ate her alive. Fans dragged her with Katt gifs saying, "Relax, Becky. Your idea of struggle was forgetting the Wi-Fi password." Brutal. Katt, of course, didn't flinch. He doubled down in a radio interview, firing shots at the critics. "If you're mad at me for saying adulthood sucks, it's probably because you got bills due." Boom. Instant meme. Fans screamed facts, while haters fumed, which only poured gasoline on the fire. Suddenly, the world was split into two camps. The die-hard fans who hailed him as a prophet of truth wrapped in comedy. The pearl clutchers who swore he was toxic for society. And here's the kicker. Both sides couldn't stop talking about him. Hate watching, love watching him didn't matter. Katt was everywhere, and Netflix was quietly laughing all the way to the bank. Comparisons started flying too. Fans stacked Katt's Great America against every other comedy special in recent memory. The verdict? Everyone else looked like amateur night at a karaoke bar. One viral post summed it up perfectly. Other comedians make you laugh. Katt Williams makes you question your existence. Savage. Then the cultural comparisons landed. Tweets exploded with lines like, "This makes the Oscars slap look like a family barbecue." Another said, "Forget therapy. Just watch Katt drag your childhood dreams through the mud." Netflix leaned in too, pushing his special back into the trending charts with captions like, "The comedy show that broke the internet." Again, even kids got in on the chaos. Middle schoolers started quoting Katt to their parents, dropping lines like, "Santa was the first lie." Imagine being a parent, trying to discipline your child, only for them to hit you back with Katt Williams quotes. At that point, you don't ground them. You applaud the delivery. By now, what started as one comedy set had mutated into a cultural earthquake. Katt wasn't just joking about growing up. He was ripping the mask off adulthood itself, exposing it as the bad deal nobody asked for. And the fallout? Oh, the fallout was about to get even juicier. Because the laughter was one thing, but the consequences were coming in hot. The laughter was still echoing, but by now the smoke of Katt Williams' truth bombs had settled into something heavier. The fallout. Because every great comedy scandal has an aftershock, and this one rattled through Hollywood, social media, and even the so-called respectable news cycle like a cultural earthquake. Suddenly, Katt wasn't just a comedian. He was a headline. Reporters scrambled to frame the chaos. Williams sparks existential crisis in America, plastered across blogs, talk shows, and even late-night news tickers. Think about that. One man with a mic made adulthood itself the hottest trending topic, more viral than celebrity divorces or NFL brawls. And the reputational fallout? Oh, it was delicious. Some comedians privately whispered that Katt had set the bar so high, their material now felt like open mic filler. One up-and-coming comic even posted a teary rant on Instagram. "How am I supposed to compete with a guy who turned adulthood into a global meme?" The comments were ruthless. "Step your game up, champ." Life's a scam, and Katt already trademarked it. Meanwhile, brands tried to hijack the wave, and failed spectacularly. A cereal company tweeted, "Growing up doesn't have to suck. Start your day with a smile and a bowl of Happy Crunch." The replies roasted them alive. One user shot back, "Happy Crunch can't fix my rent. Janet." Another added, "Unless those flakes pay my student loans, delete this." Marketing backfire of the century. But the most fascinating fallout? The way fans turned his comedy into lifestyle gospel. Entire Reddit threads popped up with titles like, "How Katt Williams Prepared Me for Adulthood," and "Forget Self-Help. Just Watch Great America." People were dissecting his jokes like scripture, pulling life lessons out of punchlines. Imagine a TED Talk, but delivered by a man in a velvet suit roasting adulthood like it owes him money. Still, the controversy had claws. Critics claimed he was glamorizing cynicism, while others insisted he was holding a mirror up to society. The irony? Both were true. Because here's the thing about Katt. He wasn't creating the chaos. He was reflecting it. Like a funhouse mirror showing adulthood's ugliest angles. Except somehow you couldn't look away. And you couldn't stop laughing. And then came the real curveball. The fans who claimed his set actually helped them. Tweets started popping up like, "Honestly, hearing Katt drag adulthood made me feel less alone." TikTok creators posted skits about paying bills with captions like, "At least Katt warned us." One viral post even said, "Therapy costs $150 an hour. Netflix costs $15. Katt Williams is the better deal." Savage but true. But don't get it twisted. The haters weren't done. Conservative talk shows accused him of poisoning the youth and spreading nihilism. As if teenagers needed Katt Williams to tell them life was hard. Have you seen gas prices? The outrage only added fuel, and suddenly Katt's name was trending daily like a Kardashian breakup. The real kicker, though? Katt didn't flinch. While the world spiraled, he stood firm in interviews, delivering lines that cut deeper than most people's therapy sessions. His mic drop response, "If the truth about life offends you, maybe you've been lied to too long." And just like that, the conversation flipped. Was Katt Williams just a comedian? Or was he now the philosopher America never knew it needed? The consequences were clear. His reputation? Elevated. His critics? exposed as humorless. His fans, more loyal than ever. Even Netflix capitalized, teasing his next special with cryptic billboards reading, "More truth incoming." And the internet? Already foaming at the mouth for the sequel. By the end, Katt didn't just roast growing up. He demolished the myth that adulthood was a prize. He made it impossible to look at adulting the same way again. And that's what made the scandal stick, because laughter fades, but truth wrapped in sarcasm, that lingers like a tattoo you didn't ask for but secretly love. And yet, the biggest cliffhanger remains. If Katt could rip growing up apart so effortlessly, what will he tear down next? Marriage, politics, Hollywood's plastic smiles? One thing's certain, when Katt Williams grabs a mic, the world better brace itself. Because nothing and no one is safe. And there you have it, folks. The kind of truth that makes reality TV look like Sesame Street. Now, before you vanish back into the black hole of TikTok dances and Kardashian reruns, let's get one thing straight. I just dragged you through the wild ride of Katt Williams' raw, unfiltered chaos, and you loved it. Don't lie. So smash that like button like it stole your rent money, slap that subscribe harder than Will Smith at the Oscars, and drop a comment so spicy it could shut down Twitter for a week. I want to hear your wildest Katt Williams take. The crazier, the better. Remember, around here, scandals don't sleep. They break faster than celebrity marriages, and we've got them all lined up. Hotter than Drake's DMs. You don't want to miss the next explosion. Trust me, it's already brewing. This is Fame Flaws, where secrets aren't whispered. They're screamed through a megaphone on national TV. Stay messy, stay nosy, and stay tuned, because tomorrow's scandal is already knocking at the door. Fame Flaws, where the truth is always louder than the lie. Always louder than the lie.